Hello everyone, welcome to Easy English for Everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share to receive the latest videos. Now let's study together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a story about a very special treasure, Grandma's secret recipe. Many people love cooking, but some recipes are extra special because they bring families together. Our story is about an elderly lady named Grandma Elsie. Grandma Elsie lived in a small, warm house at the end of a quiet street. Her home always smelled wonderful, like fresh bread, sweet cookies, and tasty soups. But there was one dish that everyone loved the most, Grandma Elsie's special pie. People said it was the best pie in town. Neighbors, friends, and even travelers would visit just to get a taste. One day, Grandma Elsie's granddaughter, Emma, asked, "Grandma, what's your secret?" Grandma Elsie smiled and said, "It's more than just ingredients. It's a special story." Emma's heart started to beat faster. What could Grandma's secret be? Could Emma learn to make the special pie and keep the tradition alive? Let's find out about Emma's adventure as she discovers Grandma's secret recipe. We will read her story in chapters. Each chapter will be short and easy to understand. We will learn new words and see how Emma faces fun challenges and heartwarming moments along the way. Are you ready? Let's discover Chapter 1. The Secret Recipe. In the small, cozy town of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived an elderly lady named Grandma Elsie. She was a beloved figure in the community, known for her warm smile, kind heart, and, most importantly, her legendary apple pie. Every year, during the annual town fair, people from all over the region would flock to Willowbrook just to taste Grandma Elsie's apple pie. The pie was so good that it had become a local legend, and many tried to replicate it, but none could come close to the magic of Grandma Elsie's creation. Grandma Elsie lived in a quaint, white cottage with a red door and a garden that bloomed with colorful flowers and lush apple trees. The cottage was always filled with the sweet aroma of baking, and the sound of her rolling pin on the kitchen counter was a comforting melody that echoed through the house. Her kitchen was a treasure trove of old recipes, handwritten on yellowed papers, and stored in a large wooden chest. Among these recipes, one stood out, the secret recipe for her famous apple pie. The recipe was a closely guarded secret, known only to Grandma Elsie. She had inherited it from her mother, who, in turn, had learned it from her grandmother. It was a tradition that had been passed down through generations, and Grandma Elsie was determined to keep it alive. The recipe was not just a list of ingredients and instructions. It was a story, a piece of history, and a symbol of love and family. One sunny morning, as the birds chirped and the sun cast a warm glow over the town, a young girl named Lily walked up to Grandma Elsie's cottage. Lily was a curious and adventurous 10-year-old who loved exploring and learning new things. She had heard the tales of Grandma Elsie's apple pie and was determined to uncover the secret behind it. Lily knocked on the red door, and after a moment, Grandma Elsie opened it with a warm smile. "Hello, dear. What brings you to my doorstep today?" she asked, her eyes twinkling with kindness. "Good morning, Grandma Elsie. I was wondering if you could tell me about your famous apple pie. I've heard so much about it, and I really want to learn how to make it," Lily said, her eyes wide with excitement. Grandma Elsie chuckled and patted Lily's head. "Oh, my dear, the apple pie is a special treat, indeed. But it's not just about the recipe. It's about the love and care that goes into every bite. Why don't you come in, and I'll show you how it's done?" Lily's face lit up with joy, and she stepped into the cozy kitchen, her heart racing with anticipation. The kitchen was a magical place, with its old-fashioned stove, wooden utensils, and shelves lined with jars of spices and ingredients. Grandma Elsie led Lily to the wooden chest and opened it, revealing a collection of old, worn-out recipe cards. She carefully pulled out one that was slightly larger than the others and handed it to Lily. "Here it is, my dear. The secret recipe for the apple pie that has made Willowbrook famous," Grandma Elsie said, her voice filled with pride. Lily's eyes widened as she read the recipe. It was written in a neat, flowing script, and the ingredients and steps were simple, yet there was something special about it. "It looks so easy, but I know there must be more to it. Can you show me how to make it?" Lily asked, her curiosity piqued. "Of course, my dear. Let's get started," Grandma Elsie said, and together they began to prepare the ingredients. As they worked, Grandma Elsie shared stories about her family and the history of the recipe. She told Lily about the apple orchard where the apples came from, the special spices she used, and the secret ingredient that made the pie so unique. Lily listened intently, her heart filled with wonder and excitement. Little did Lily know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would lead her to discover not just the secret of the apple pie, but the deeper meaning behind it. As they baked, the kitchen filled with the sweet aroma of apples and cinnamon, and a bond began to form between the young girl and the wise old lady. Chapter 2. Lily's First Attempt. Lily and Grandma Elsie spent the morning in the cozy kitchen, the air filled with the delightful scent of baking apples and cinnamon. Grandma Elsie guided Lily through each step of the pie-making process, her hands moving with the grace and precision of years of practice. First, they started with the crust. Grandma Elsie showed Lily how to mix the flour, butter, and a pinch of salt in a large bowl. "The key to a perfect crust is to keep the butter cold," she explained, demonstrating how to cut the butter into the flour using a pastry cutter. Lily watched in amazement, her hands moving carefully under Grandma Elsie's watchful eye. Next, they rolled out the dough on a floured surface. "Not too thin, not too thick," Grandma Elsie advised, showing Lily how to roll the dough evenly. They then carefully transferred the dough to a pie dish, trimming the edges and crimping them to create a neat, decorative border. While the crust was being prepared, Grandma Elsie showed Lily how to prepare the apple filling. They peeled, cored, and sliced the apples, arranging them neatly in a bowl. "We use a mix of different apples for the best flavor," Grandma Elsie explained, pointing out the varieties they were using. "Some are sweet, some are tart, and when you combine them, the flavors balance out perfectly." Lily helped measure out the sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a dash of lemon juice. "The lemon juice helps to keep the apples from browning," Grandma Elsie added, as Lily sprinkled the ingredients over the apples and gently mixed them together. Finally, they poured the apple filling into the prepared crust and topped it with a lattice crust. "This is the most fun part," Grandma Elsie said, showing Lily how to weave the strips of dough into a beautiful pattern. Lily's hands were a bit clumsy at first, but with Grandma Elsie's guidance, she managed to create a lattice that looked almost as good as the ones in the recipe books. As they placed the pie in the oven, Grandma Elsie turned to Lily with a smile. "Now, we wait. Baking is as much about patience as it is about skill." While the pie baked, Lily and Grandma Elsie sat at the kitchen table, sipping tea and chatting. Grandma Elsie shared stories of her childhood, her mother, and the apple orchard where the apples came from. "My mother used to take me there every fall to pick the apples. It was a special time for us," she said, her eyes misting over with fond memories. Lily listened intently, feeling a connection to the older woman. "I've never had a garden like this," she said, looking around the lush garden outside. "It must be so nice to grow your own food." "It is, my dear. It's a connection to the earth and a way to pass down traditions," Grandma Elsie replied, her voice warm and comforting. As they talked, the kitchen filled with the heavenly aroma of the baking pie. Lily's stomach growled, and she couldn't help but smile. "I can't wait to taste it," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Finally, the timer went off, and Grandma Elsie carefully removed the pie from the oven. The crust was a perfect golden brown, and the apples were bubbling through the lattice. "It looks amazing," Lily exclaimed, her heart racing with anticipation. Together, they let the pie cool for a bit before slicing it. Grandma Elsie placed a generous slice on a plate and handed it to Lily. "Here you go, my dear." The moment of truth. Lily took a bite, and her eyes widened in delight. The crust was flaky and buttery, and the apples were perfectly spiced, with just the right balance of sweetness and tartness. "It's delicious," she exclaimed, her face lighting up with joy. Grandma Elsie beamed with pride. "I'm glad you like it, my dear. Making this pie is more than just following a recipe. It's about the love and care that goes into every step." Lily nodded, her heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. "I can't wait to try making it again. Maybe next time I can do it all by myself," she said, her eyes shining with determination. Grandma Elsie patted her hand. "I have no doubt you will, my dear. But remember, the secret to a great pie is not just the ingredients, but the love you put into it." Lily's first attempt at making Grandma Elsie's apple pie was a success, but it was just the beginning of a journey that would lead her to discover the true meaning behind the recipe. As they finished their slices, the bond between the young girl and the wise old lady grew stronger, and Lily knew that this was a friendship that would last a lifetime. Chapter 3. The Town Fair. The day of the annual Willowbrook Town Fair finally arrived, and the town was buzzing with excitement. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and the smell of freshly cooked food filled the air. Stalls lined the main street, selling everything from handmade crafts to homemade pies, and the sound of laughter and music echoed through the streets. Lily was particularly excited because she had been invited to participate in the pie-making contest. She had been practicing the recipe for weeks, determined to create a pie that would do justice to Grandma Elsie's legacy. The night before, she had stayed up late, carefully preparing the ingredients and rehearsing each step in her mind. As she set up her stall, Lily felt a mix of nervousness and anticipation. She had decorated her table with a small vase of wildflowers and a sign that read, "Lily's Apple Pie, inspired by Grandma Elsie." She had even brought a photo of Grandma Elsie to place next to the pie, hoping it would bring her good luck. The fair was in full swing by the time Lily was ready. Children ran around, their faces painted with bright colors, and adults strolled from stall to stall, sampling the various treats. The pie contest was a highlight of the event, and the judges, a panel of local food enthusiasts, were making their rounds, tasting and evaluating each entry. Lily's heart raced as the judges approached her stall. She had prepared a perfect pie with a flaky, golden crust and a delicious, spiced apple filling. She presented it with pride, explaining to the judges that it was inspired by her mentor, Grandma Elsie. The judges nodded appreciatively and took a small slice of the pie. They tasted it slowly, savoring each bite, and Lily held her breath, hoping they would like it. After a moment, the lead judge, a kindly old man with a white beard, smiled and said, "This is a wonderful pie, Lily. The crust is perfect, and the apples are just the right balance of sweet and tart. You've done a great job." Lily's face lit up with joy, and she thanked the judges, her confidence growing. As the day went on, more and more people came to try her pie, and each one left with a smile and a compliment. Children begged their parents for another slice, and adults reminisced about the pies they remembered from their childhood. Lily's stall became one of the busiest at the fair, and she found herself running back and forth, serving slices and chatting with the townspeople. She even had a few people who recognized the pie as Grandma Elsie's and shared their own stories of the famous recipe. As the sun began to set, the organizers announced the winners of the pie contest. Lily's hands trembled as she waited for her name to be called. When the lead judge finally announced, and the winner of this year's pie contest is Lily, with her amazing apple pie, the crowd erupted in applause. Lily was overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. She accepted her prize, a beautiful blue ribbon and a trophy, and thanked everyone for their support. She dedicated her win to Grandma Elsie, saying, "This pie wouldn't be possible without the love and guidance of my mentor, Grandma Elsie. She taught me that the secret to a great pie is not just the ingredients, but the love and care that goes into every step." The crowd cheered, and many people came up to congratulate her. Some even asked for her recipe, and Lily, feeling generous and inspired, shared the basic steps, emphasizing the importance of love and care in the cooking process. As the fair came to a close, Lily packed up her stall, her heart full of happiness and a sense of accomplishment. She had not only won the pie contest, but had also made many new friends and created wonderful memories. She knew that this was just the beginning of her journey, and she looked forward to continuing to learn and grow, inspired by the wisdom and love of Grandma Elsie. Chapter 4: The Mysterious Ingredient. As the weeks passed, Lily continued to practice making Grandma Elsie's apple pie, perfecting each step and experimenting with different variations. She had become quite skilled, and her friends and family eagerly looked forward to her pies, which she often shared with them. However, there was one thing that still puzzled her: the mysterious ingredient that Grandma Elsie always mentioned but never revealed. One sunny afternoon, as Lily was visiting Grandma Elsie's cottage, she decided to ask about it. "Grandma Elsie, can you tell me more about the secret ingredient in your apple pie?" she asked, her eyes filled with curiosity. Grandma Elsie smiled warmly and patted Lily's hand. "Ah, the secret ingredient. It's a special part of the recipe, but it's not something you can find in a store or measure with a cup," she said, her eyes twinkling with a hint of mystery. Lily tilted her head, intrigued. "But what is it then?" she asked, her curiosity growing. Grandma Elsie leaned in and whispered, "It's a pinch of love. Every time I make the pie, I think of the people who will enjoy it and the memories we will create. That love is what makes the pie so special." Lily's eyes widened in understanding. "A pinch of love? That's so beautiful, Grandma Elsie. But how do you add love to a pie?" Grandma Elsie chuckled. "It's not something you add with your hands, my dear. It's something you add with your heart. When you bake with love, you put all your care and attention into every step. You think about the people who will taste the pie and the joy it will bring them. That's what makes the pie truly special." Lily nodded, her heart filled with a warm, fuzzy feeling. "I see. So, it's not just about the ingredients, but about the feelings you put into it." "Exactly," Grandma Elsie said, her eyes shining with pride. "And that's what makes your pies so good, too. You bake with love, just like I do." Lily felt a surge of confidence and determination. She realized that the secret ingredient was something she had been adding all along, without even realizing it. She had been baking with love, thinking about her friends and family and the joy she wanted to bring them. Determined to master the art of adding love to her baking, Lily asked, "Can you show me how to bake with even more love, Grandma Elsie? I want to make the best pie ever." Grandma Elsie's eyes sparkled with delight. "Of course, my dear. Let's go into the kitchen and bake a pie together, and I'll show you how to infuse it with even more love." They entered the cozy kitchen, and Grandma Elsie began to guide Lily through the process, emphasizing the importance of each step. "When you're mixing the dough, Think about the people who will enjoy the pie. Imagine their smiles and the joy it will bring them, she said, her voice filled with warmth. Lily closed her eyes for a moment and visualized her friends and family gathered around the table, enjoying the pie. She felt a surge of love and happiness, and when she opened her eyes, she noticed that her hands moved with a newfound grace and precision. Next, they prepared the apple filling. When you're slicing the apples, think about the memories you want to create. Imagine the laughter and conversations that will happen while they're enjoying the pie, Grandma Elsie said, her eyes twinkling. Lily nodded, her heart full of warmth. She carefully sliced the apples, her mind filled with happy thoughts and the love she wanted to share. As they poured the filling into the crust and added the lattice top, Grandma Elsie said, "When you're putting the finishing touches on the pie, think about the bond you're creating with the people who will taste it. Imagine the connections that will form and the memories that will be made." Lily felt a deep sense of connection and purpose as she worked on the pie. She knew that this pie was more than just a delicious treat. It was a symbol of love and care. Finally, they placed the pie in the oven and waited. While it baked, Grandma Elsie and Lily sat at the kitchen table, sipping tea and sharing stories. Lily told Grandma Elsie about her friends and the fun times they had together. Grandma Elsie listened intently, her eyes filled with warmth and affection. As the pie baked, the kitchen filled with the sweet aroma of apples and cinnamon, and Lily could feel the love she had put into it radiating through the air. When the timer went off, they carefully removed the pie from the oven, and Lily's heart raced with anticipation. The pie was a masterpiece. The crust was a perfect golden brown, and the apples were bubbling through the lattice, fragrant and inviting. Lily took a deep breath and felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She knew that this pie was special, not just because of the ingredients, but because of the love she had put into it. Grandma Elsie smiled and said, "You did it, my dear. You baked a pie with love, and it shows. I'm so proud of you." Lily's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Thank you, Grandma Elsie. I couldn't have done it without you." Together, they shared a slice of the pie, and Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that the secret ingredient, love, was the key to creating something truly special. As they finished their slices, Lily's heart was filled with a sense of purpose and a desire to continue baking with love, inspired by the wisdom and guidance of Grandma Elsie. Chapter 5. The Surprise Visit. The days following the town fair were filled with a sense of accomplishment and joy for Lily. She had won the pie contest, and the recognition had boosted her confidence. She continued to practice making Grandma Elsie's apple pie, perfecting her technique and infusing each pie with a pinch of love. Her friends and family eagerly looked forward to her creations, and Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment in sharing her pies with them. One sunny afternoon, as Lily was preparing a new batch of pies, she heard a knock at her door. She paused, her hands covered in flour, and called out, "Who is it?" To her surprise, it was Grandma Elsie, holding a large, beautifully wrapped gift. "Hello, my dear. I hope I'm not interrupting anything," she said, her eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. Lily's face lit up with joy. "Grandma Elsie, what a wonderful surprise. Come in," she exclaimed, quickly wiping her hands on a towel and leading Grandma Elsie into the kitchen. Grandma Elsie set the gift on the table and looked around the kitchen with a smile. "I see you've been busy. The place smells wonderful." Lily blushed and smiled. "I've been practicing. I wanted to make sure I could keep up the quality of the pies, especially after winning the contest." Grandma Elsie nodded approvingly. "I'm sure you're doing a fantastic job. But that's not the only reason I'm here today. I have a surprise for you." Lily's eyes widened with curiosity. "A surprise? What is it, Grandma Elsie?" Grandma Elsie's smile grew wider as she gestured to the gift. "Open it and see for yourself, my dear." Lily eagerly unwrapped the gift, revealing a beautifully crafted wooden pie box. The box was adorned with intricate carvings of apples and leaves, and it had a small, brass handle. Inside, she found a set of hand-carved wooden utensils, including a rolling pin, a pastry cutter, and a wooden spoon, all polished to a smooth finish. Lily's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Grandma Elsie, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much." Grandma Elsie patted her hand. "I made it for you, my dear. I wanted to give you something special to remember our time together. These utensils have been in my family for generations, and I think it's time they found a new home with you." Lily's heart swelled with emotion. "I don't know what to say. This means so much to me. Thank you, Grandma Elsie." Grandma Elsie's eyes sparkled with warmth. "You've made me so proud, Lily. You've not only learned the recipe, but also the importance of baking with love. I know you'll take great care of these utensils and use them to create many more wonderful pies." Lily nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "I promise, Grandma Elsie. I'll use them to make the best pies and share them with everyone I love." As they sat down to enjoy a cup of tea, Grandma Elsie shared more stories about her family and the history of the utensils. She told Lily about the generations of bakers who had used them and the special moments they had created with their pies. Lily listened intently, feeling a deep connection to the family legacy. After their tea, Grandma Elsie suggested they bake a pie together using the new utensils. "Let's make a special pie to celebrate your win and this wonderful gift," she said, her eyes twinkling with excitement. Lily's face lit up with enthusiasm. "That sounds amazing, Grandma Elsie. Let's do it." They spent the afternoon in the kitchen, working side by side with the new utensils. The wooden rolling pin felt smooth and comfortable in Lily's hands, and the pastry cutter glided through the dough with ease. The wooden spoon was perfect for mixing the apple filling, and the whole process felt more special than ever. As they baked the pie, Grandma Elsie shared more tips and tricks, emphasizing the importance of love and care in every step. When you use these utensils, think about the generations of bakers who have used them before you. Feel their love and passion for baking, and let it guide your hands," she said, her voice filled with warmth. Lily nodded, her heart filled with a sense of connection and purpose. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the gift and the wisdom it represented. Finally, the pie was ready. They placed it on the table, and Lily's heart raced with anticipation. The crust was a perfect golden brown, and the apples were bubbling through the lattice, fragrant and inviting. They took a deep breath and felt the love they had put into the pie radiating through the air. Grandma Elsie smiled and said, "You did it, my dear. You baked a pie with love, and it shows. I'm so proud of you." Lily's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Thank you, Grandma Elsie. I couldn't have done it without you." Together, they shared a slice of the pie, and Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that the secret ingredient, love, was the key to creating something truly special. As they finished their slices, Lily's heart was filled with a sense of purpose and a desire to continue baking with love, inspired by the wisdom and guidance of Grandma Elsie. Chapter 6. The Family Gathering. The following weekend, Lily's family decided to have a gathering at her house. The weather was perfect, with a warm sun and a gentle breeze, and the backyard was filled with the laughter and chatter of family members. Lily's parents, her younger brother Timmy, her aunts, uncles, and cousins were all there, enjoying the beautiful day. Lily had been planning for this gathering for weeks, and she was determined to make it special. She had invited Grandma Elsie to join them, and the older woman had happily accepted, bringing with her a basket of fresh apples from her garden. As the family settled into the backyard, Lily's mother, Sarah, called out, "Lily, why don't you show everyone the pie you've been working on? I'm sure they'd love to see it. Lily's face lit up with excitement. She had been practicing the apple pie recipe and was eager to share her latest creation. Sure, Mom, I'll bring it out right away. Lily hurried into the kitchen, where the pie was cooling on the counter. She carefully picked up the pie box, her heart racing with anticipation. The pie inside was a masterpiece, with a perfectly flaky crust and a delicious, spiced apple filling. She had used the wooden utensils Grandma Elsie had given her, and the whole process had felt more special than ever. As she carried the pie out to the backyard, the family's eyes widened in admiration. Wow, Lily, that looks amazing. Her father, Tom, exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with pride. Lily set the pie on the picnic table and beamed with joy. I hope you all like